Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to turn this Raspberry Pi into a network-wide ad blocker using Pi-hole. The first thing we need to do is install an operating system on the SD card. I'm going to install a light version of Raspbian, as this does not come with any extra bloat in the software that's going to cause the Raspberry Pi to slow down. The first thing you want to do is browse to raspberrypi.org and then click Downloads, Raspbian, and then download the Raspbian Stretch Lite. I've already downloaded this, so let's go to File Explorer. I'm going to find the location of where I saved it. If you right click and then press Extract here, it will extract the image into the current folder. Once the file has been extracted, we need to flash it to an SD card. We're going to use some software called Etcher. So if you visit etcher.io in your browser, then click the download button. Once that's finished, run the installer. Next we need to run Etcher, so double click on the icon that's on the desktop. Click select image and then browse to the image that you extracted earlier. Etcher would have already selected your SD card, but if it hasn't, make sure the correct SD card is selected and then press flash. This is going to take some time, so I'm just going to cut to the end when it's all finished. Now that's all done, the next thing we need to do is enable SSH, as we won't be plugging this into any monitor. There'll be no way to enable SSH via the GUI. Browse to the root of your SD card that you've just flashed, and then create a new text document called SSH in capital letters. You need to also remove the .txt. The next thing is to plug your SD card into your Raspberry Pi and connect up all the power and a network cable, because the next thing we're going to be doing is SSHing onto the Raspberry Pi. Open up your SSH client. I like to use Super Putty. Type in the IP address of your Raspberry Pi. This can be found by logging into your router and looking at the DHCP table. Click yes to trust the host and then log in. The username is Pi and the password is Raspbian. Actually, ignore that, the password is Raspberry. Once that's logged in, you should be given the command prompt. Next thing we need to do is browse to the Pi-hole website, which is pi-hole.net. Now we need to scroll down to the install command, which is just a copy and paste job. As you see, it's right there. So highlight the command and copy. Then we need to go back to the SSH command line and paste it in there and then press enter. This will execute the command. Depending on the version of the Raspberry Pi you have, this can take some time. I'm using the Raspberry Pi, the first Raspberry Pi, Model B, so it's not the quickest. So yeah, you just have to wait it out. The next couple of menus you can just press enter to get through them. carry on until you reach the menu where you can select what DNS servers you can use. Here you can choose whatever DNS servers you like. I like to use Google. The default settings are usually okay, so you can just press enter on this menu. This will give you your IP address of the Raspberry Pi, which you should already know. Press enter here to install the admin interface, and then enter again to log everything. The installer is going to carry on doing its thing, and again, depending on what Raspberry Pi you use, this can take some time. The next screen is confirmation of a successful install. It gives you your admin password as well that you need to log in to the admin interface. Make sure you take note of that. Now we need to browse to the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. It should load up with this Pi-hole symbol. You need to type in /admin to get to the admin interface, and then from here you can click login and then use the password that was given to you previously. The final thing left to do is to set the DNS servers of your devices to point at the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. Please comment if you have any questions or suggestions, and I will try and help as much as I can. Thanks for watching.